with wonderful people in the Fargo-Moorhead area, and I want to bring their stories to you. Human interest stories, sports, timely topics that affect all of us in the Red River Valley. Talk of the Town with John Adams. Tune in for positivity and fun.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome to Weather and Ag in Focus. Thanks for joining us. It's a hot Thursday, December 7th out there. Hot. It should be like 27 degrees today. It is double that.
You good at math? It's a little more than double.
It's a little more than double.
Yeah.
Proves my point even more. Does anyone want to play? Well, we already know. Bridgette, do you want to guess the temperature outside here in Fargo? The Fargo air temperature.
62 degrees.
Hey, you're pretty close. It's 15.
Oh, no.
15C.
15, yeah.
15C. That's 59 degrees F.
It is.
That equal hot for December.
It's not hot. It's warm.
Like I said, it should be like 25 degrees or something.
We set a record, though. Old record, 53. Back in 1918. We shattered that. I mean, and we're still warming up. We'll hit 60 this afternoon, I think, easily. Well, we're at 59 right now. We better.
You want to make a bet?
I'll absolutely
I don't want to bet.
I'll absolutely bet you on that.
We'll bet.
Unbelievable weather.
Yeah, it's really beautiful out there. A little breezy, but all in all, not too bad for, again, December 7th. Temperatures are near 60 degrees. Enjoy it, though. Things are going to be turning rather quickly over the next couple of days.
What's around the corner? Well, I was thinking of another one.
A bomb cyclone.
The one next to that.
What's my God. First it was polar vortex, then it was bombogenesis, then bomb cyclone. Now the new one is thunder snow. What the hell is thunder snow? What do I do during a thunder snow?
What's a thunder snow, Dean?
I just see the snow. I don't hear the thunder.
I got to get the bread and butter.
There's no thunder snow in the forecast, but after a day like today around 60, we do have accumulating snow that is in the forecast.
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Wait.
Everybody calm down!
So enjoy today. Get out and enjoy today. We're looking at temperatures right around 60 degrees this afternoon with those winds out of the southeast between about 10 and 20, so not too bad. Tonight, we'll see increasing clouds and lows in the mid-30s. And tomorrow we'll start our change, but still above normal. A storm system rides in from the west. Will turn windy out of the west-southwest, 15 to 30. Highs in the lower to middle 40s. And then cold air quickly rushes in tomorrow evening, and we'll see snow develop across the area. It'll start by evening rush in the northern valley. It'll wait till after about 8, 9 o'clock here in the southern valley, and we will see accumulating snow out of this. We're also going to see winds whip out of the northwest at 25 to 40 miles an hour. There will be some travel troubles tomorrow night and Saturday morning.
I'd say maybe even into the afternoon of Saturday if the roads are still bad.
I'd say in favoring the Northern Valley where there's going to be more snow. But it looks like our models continue to increase the amounts of snow. It's not anything heavy, but when you combine it with those strong winds, there's going to be some pretty poor travel. About 1 inch, maybe a touch more than that, 1.5 inches or so here in the FM area. But you get up into that Northern Valley, up along the U.S.-Canadian border, 2-3 inches, possibly a little bit more than that. So, again, it's not a whole lot of snow, but you don't need a lot of snow when you got 40-mile-an-hour winds blowing that around.
I wouldn't be surprised at times, especially up towards the north, while it is snowing overnight Friday, that there would be blizzard-like conditions at times with the wind and the snow.
With the wind and the falling snow, yeah. So if you're going to be out late Friday night, might want to
go home early.
Might want to go home early, or just Uber it, or just stay home Friday night. Friday night, especially in the Northern Valley, it's going to get pretty ugly, and it'll get a little tricky down here in the FM area by Saturday morning, if not a little sooner than that. So. Just kind of a heads up. Again, we haven't had much winter practice this year. We've had 2 inches of snow.
Snow. Yep.
So this will be one that'll test your patience, I think, Saturday morning. So if you have any travel plans Friday late into Saturday morning, looks like it could be a little bit tricky. But by the middle of next week, we're already back up into the 40s. So anything we get will likely mostly melt by the middle of next week.
Looking forward to it,
man. Just a crazy winter, isn't it?
It's a nice winter.
Temperature. And Bridgette, so on this date last year, what was the weather? Give me an approximate. What was the wind chill like?
Yeah, okay. Was it because I was in this state or another state? Because I think we probably have to clarify that, because I do believe this was about the same time frame that I got snowed into Pierce, South Dakota for like 5 days that I was not expecting.
That would make sense.
Yeah. So the temperatures at the time went from pretty nice on the way down to Pierre. It was probably in the 30s till we hit some pretty low wind chills. I would bet we were at a 10 or 15 below wind chill. Aside from the roughly 42 feet of snow we received in a short period of time. Am I right?
Yeah, it was.
Did I get this all right?
Pretty close. Yeah, we had wind chills.
Okay.
Wind chills on this date last year, 25 below. And we're looking at 60 degrees today. That's an 85-degree spread in feels like temperature.
Yes.
Could you guys take care of
nuts.
the show? I'd like to go sit out on my patio in a lawn chair, see if I can work on a little vitamin D capture right here.
Well,
Replant your tomatoes.
yeah.
Man, we could have had a heck of a. If we would have replanted late, we probably could have another crop by now.
That's some big double cropping plans you've got over there, Justin. Nice.
Yes.
But we'll see what we can do.
Oh boy, yeah, this is crazy weather. Still questionable on a white Christmas. I don't think the snow we get is going to be enough to stick around through Christmas. I just think
At least here in Fargo.
Yeah, I just think we'll have too warm of weather, but we'll see. I mean,
No, supposed to get a clipper right around Christmas, so
that might be able to
hopefully
do
it
it.
can drop an inch or two of snow and not just be wind.
There you go.
Hey guys,
There's hope.
let's say what if somebody missed our LRC special on Tuesday when we went
Dang.
through our forecast for the next several months? And LRC, again, is the Lezak recurring cycle that we use for gauging the weather, which I believe has some pretty strong accuracy. What if somebody missed that and they kind of need to do some follow-up? How would you suggest they find out what happened?
Well, they're out of luck.
I was just gonna say they're SOL. You should have been listening, man.
They can go
We
online.
got a couple of options.
Yeah, go online, go under WDAYRadioNow.com, click on Show Archives, and under the Jay Thomas Show will be our winter weather outlook. You can catch it all there.
Yep. You can also watch it on Facebook or YouTube on WDAY 970 AM.
So
And what will you all be doing on our website from time to time? Anything?
Well, eventually we'll put up the LRC calendar.
There you go.
Yeah.
I'm wondering where she was going with that.
Oh, I knew exactly where she was
didn't
going.
Click in my head at all.
So yeah, we'll have that calendar put up. I think we're going to wait a little bit just to retune it up, as it's fluctuating between a 43 and a 46 day cycle. And
Oh, you're not supposed to say that.
well, that's right. Oh well,
You do this every year.
but it's
I
fluctuating.
forgot to tell you too.
So we don't have that
I forgot to tell you
exact
to-
date. Go ahead, Bridge.
You suck at keeping secrets. That's why I'm not telling you what
Someone
anybody's getting for
does.
Christmas.
Man,
Just saying.
I hope Bridget doesn't find out what we bought her for Christmas.
Nothing?
No, shut up.
That would be the case.
No, see, you're supposed to play along so then she gets us something.
Yeah.
You don't know how this works, do you?
Well, maybe she thinks I'm joking. Now she doesn't, because you ruined it again.
You two
Man.
are terrible. Nonetheless,
We need to have a little
if
chat.
you are looking, maybe you two are looking for some shopping ideas. Hold on, let me wheel out of the screen just a sec. And now I'm back. Okay, the North Dakota Soybean Growers magazine just came out for the December issue, and there was a whole list of soybean-based product gift ideas.
I want glow-in-the-dark
So I'm going
ones.
to make sure this, the glow-in-the-dark soybean, not yet available, sir, not yet. But I'm going to put these over on our website, things like soy-based crayons, crayon rocks, like the bulky crayons that you can go with,
Oh.
socks made from soy material, of course, candles, soy-based beard oil. Justin, finally, something for you.
There we go.
SPF, leashes for
Another
your
thing
pet,
for me.
cat collars, and shoes. So there's all sorts of ideas that I'm going to share with folks on our website as soon as I get that graphic from North Dakota Soybean Growers.
Cool.
You know what I want for Christmas?
Happy shopping! A Steiger tractor from WDAY.
Actually, no. I mean, yeah, but those are for everyone else. I can't get one of those. Have you ever seen those Edison tube clocks before?
Yes.
No.
So you know what I'm talking about. I'll have to show you a picture during the break, but I just think that is like one of the neatest things, especially in like clock form. So I want one of those because they're all customizable and everything. You're guessing you just pulled it up. You see that? You like that? Isn't that kind of cool? So if anyone wants to drop one off at the studio, I'm not saying I wouldn't accept it, but
we don't have a lot of decor in the weather office. It's mostly
I got one
stuff
poster
that
I printed
weatherish. So yeah, it wouldn't hurt for us to have a few more things.
Those aren't
We'll do our
cheap,
best.
Justin.
no, they're not cheap.
Well, it's okay, Dean. You can afford it, and we're worth it.
Yeah. With all the money you're getting from those, from the cow and the chickens that are laying all those eggs, you're just gonna gift your favorite coworker a little something. I don't know.
Right over here.
Well, let's see. What do we got coming up on the show today? As we head throughout the course of this afternoon, we're going to be joined by Mark Hanna. Is it correct, Bridgette, the peanut farmer out of Georgia?
Yes, Mark raises peanuts and cotton, and I'm very much looking forward to talking with Mark. I think he's already waiting in queue for us. He sent some pictures that we're going to be able to share. It's not very often we get to talk with folks who raise peanuts, and it's the holiday season. I don't know if the rest of you ever got this, but as a little kid after church, after your Christmas program, you got your little brown bag with your orange and your peppermint candy cane and your peanuts in the shell. And now I want to know how the peanuts went from Mark's farm into my little goodie bag that I got to take home after being an angel in the church choir.
Yeah, angel. Yeah.
So we're going to get those questions answered. And if you want to join in the conversation, got some questions about cotton or peanuts, give us a call on the Red Wing Shoes phone line. That's 701-293-9000. Emails to the program are weatherorag@flagfamily.com, as well as those live comment boxes available on YouTube and Facebook Live. After that, we do have a couple ag topics that we'll get to at the last segment, and one of those is the USDA launches a new calf risk protection program. And what do you do when the dog eats chocolate? I don't know about you, Dean, but that has happened to my household a couple of times. And also a relationship importance between clients and vets. And I see we're getting a phone call. Why don't we screen that while we head to the American Ag Network? We'll come back to that and take you right into the first segment. So stay tuned. Weather and Ag in Focus. We'll be right back.
Livestock market is mostly lower. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Risfet with this Market Update. The aggressive triple-digit price free fall seen in live cattle and feeder cattle trade late yesterday has limited additional selling pressure and allowed for light to moderate short covering in what is still expected to be an oversold market. Now, despite the complex remaining in an oversold status, the combination of technical and fundamental weakness is making traders extremely hesitant to actively step into the complex. In the weekly export sales report, net sales of 200 metric tons for 2023, that's a marketing year low, were down 98% from the previous week and from the prior 4-week average. Increases were primarily for Japan, Mexico, and China. Exports of 13,700 metric tons were up 7% from the previous week, but down 2% from the prior 4-week average. Cash cattle activity is remaining quiet today following light trade in all areas yesterday. It is expected that some additional cattle trade will need to develop over the next couple of days, but it is still uncertain just how solid the previous price tone is and the potential to break away from the recent market pressure. Cattle trade in the South is reported at $171 per hundredweight. That's $3 lower than last week's average, but generally steady with earlier week trade. Northern dress trade was reported at $271. That is $4 lower than last week's average. Box beef prices are mixed. Choice down $194 and select up $44 with a movement of 107 loads. We'll get a look at the livestock numbers next. You're listening to the American Ag Network. Wheat originated in the cradle of civilization in the Tigris and Euphrates River Valley near what is now Iraq. Wheat is a member of the grass family that produces a dry, one-seeded fruit commonly called a kernel. The crop grows between 2 and 4 feet tall. However, some varieties can grow as tall as 7 feet. Because wheat is such a versatile crop, it is being harvested somewhere in the world every single month of the year and on every single continent except Antarctica. These farm facts brought to you by the American Ag Network. Wheat originated in the cradle of civilization in the Tigris and Euphrates River Valley near what is now Iraq. Wheat is a member of the grass family that produces a dry, one-seeded fruit commonly called a kernel. The crop grows between 2 and 4 feet tall. However, some varieties can grow as tall as 7 feet. Because wheat is such a versatile crop, it is being harvested somewhere in the world every single month of the year and on every single continent except Antarctica. These farm facts brought to you by the American Ag Network. Let's get a look at the livestock numbers. Live cattle December down 70 at 162.75. February down 45 at 163.10. April down 27 at 166.40. And the June live cattle, they're down 17 at 164.10. Feeders January up 67 at 210.82. March down 55 at 211.20. Lean hogs December down 12 at 67.42. February down 137 at 67.92. And the April lean hogs, they're down 147 at 74.47. For the American Ag Network, I'm Richard Ristvet.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
And welcome back. So glad to have you joining us. Oh, and our guest today will be Mark Hanna. He is a peanut farmer in Georgia. Two things as we get Mark ready to go. One of them is that for those of you who have not yet had your chance to go to our website, click on the Hot Links button and put in your nomination for the Warm Heart, Warm Home promotion. You can do that. WDAY is pairing with Legacy Plumbing to provide a furnace to a family in need. Those nominations are due by Friday, December 15th, so we can announce the winner on Monday on Bonnie and Friends. Recipient must be in Castor-Clay County. Please go ahead and get your nominations in so everyone can have a warm heart and a warm home this holiday season. And I believe we have a caller, Oscar, on line one. Oscar, are you there for us?
I sure am. Hey, how did your 100-bushel bean field do this year? I missed out on what it did.
Just short of 100, Oscar. Just short. We just missed it a little bit.
Oh.
By half.
All get to the office there. I dropped a whole bunch of ink pens up there this week. Did you get any?
Yeah, I got some. I got one right in my hand, actually. They're nice little pens. Thanks for dropping them off, Oscar. Appreciate that.
Well,
yeah.
Yes, thank you, Oscar.
I got to take care of my friends, you know.
Yeah, well, we appreciate that.
Absolutely.
The beans.
Appreciate it.
We hit, what was it,
45?
42?
42?
42
bushel beans is what we hit. And we got them all harvested.
Okay.
They're sitting in an elevator right now. We're waiting to see if prices go up a little bit more before we sell them.
All right. Like I say there, I truck. I'm on the road here, and when I get too far away from down here, I can't pick you up. So anyway, well, you all have a good day. If I don't talk before, you all have a good holiday. Have a merry, and happy.
You as well,
too,
Oscar. Thanks for calling. Appreciate hearing from you, and stay safe out there.
Thanks, Oscar. We appreciate him checking in on us today, and we're going to check in next with our guest, and that is Mark Hanna. Mark is with us from Seminole County, Georgia. Mark, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Glad to be here.
Yeah, thanks for joining, Mark.
This will be a great fun. Mark, tell us a little bit about your operation. I saw some pictures of peanuts and cotton.
Well, we're located in extreme southwest Georgia, just across the line from Florida and Alabama. So we're not far off the Gulf of Mexico, which affects our weather a good bit. We farm peanuts, cotton, corn, and some soybeans.
And have you raised peanuts for a long time? Is this a newer endeavor for you? Tell us a little of that history.
Look, we're in Georgia, so if you're in Georgia, you got to raise peanuts.
That is an ideal response. All right. We don't know squat about planting soybeans, Mark. When, where, how do you start doing it? Tell us the whole process.
Peanuts. I think you meant peanuts,
Okay,
didn't you,
peanuts.
Bridgette? You meant peanuts.
Oh, what did I say?
You said soybeans. I'm like, wait a minute. We just got done raising soybeans.
Maybe that's why we only hit 42 bushels.
Right.
I knew what you were talking about.
Good. Well, let's go from there.
Okay, well, peanuts are a spring crop. We plant them. Historically, they were started in April, May. Now that's sort of shifted to mostly May planting for our area. We have some disease problems that are affected if we plant them too early. Peanuts take about 145 days is sort of the relative maturity on them. They're a legume. They create their own nitrogen. The main problem with them is the pest would be fungus. We spray fungicide regularly, usually 7 to 8 applications of fungicide through the year. They're dug at the 145-day stage, which puts it the last part of September for us. You dig them, they stay on the ground for 3 to 4 days to cure, and then you start harvesting them. Then we take them to we have a farmer-owned processing plant. We call them shelling plants down here, where they are dried. They're inspected by a federal state's inspection to establish a price, and then they're put in the warehouse, and then we pull them out and shell them all through the year.
Now, you said that you had to dig them up, and then they lay in the field for how long?
3 to 4 days, depending on the humidity and the temperature.
And what makes Georgia one of the prime places to raise peanuts? Is it just the climate, the soil?
It's the climate. We have sandier lands. George Washington Carver developed the peanut to grow on this sorry land we have down here. Our CECs are very low. North Dakota, you're going to probably have a CEC in the 25 range or higher. Ours is a 3 or 4, which is basically the ability of the soil to hold nutrients. So we have, you'd call it very poor dirt, a thin topsoil layer, and it's just peanuts are a scavenger crop. They do real well in our area. Some of the more fertile soils, they maybe grow too much. They have expanded up into Arkansas and Missouri right now, and they can make some good yields, but there are also some challenges of growing them up in that area. One of those being climate.
So, Mark, when you're going to plant soybeans, I'm really going to have a problem today.
We plant those too, but let's talk about peanuts.
Right. Okay, please. When you're going to plant those peanuts, what does that seed look like? Does it look like a regular peanut? Is it an actual plant?
The peanut that you eat is the same thing we plant. Our plant shells. The peanut, of course, is in a hull, a shell, and you shell those, and then that peanut is separated by grades. You have a jumbo, medium, a number 1 in splits, and they go to different markets. And then the best of the seed is saved for us, and we plant those. You plant about a rule of thumb, about 150 pounds of that seed per acre, which is about that's 6-7 per foot.
Okay. And when you say you're planting those per acre, are you planting in a furrow and then you have to hill them? Or what's that process look like? Because I've always envisioned
we flat plant
those,
and actually some people plant on a little bit of a raised bed, not much, but mostly flat planting. We plant in 36-inch rows, actually a 36-inch center, and we plant double rows. They're about 9 inches apart, but on 36-inch centers.
Wow. Okay, I'm just envisioning the size and so forth with that. And 150 pounds per acre, that's pretty big spacing. So do you do a lot of mechanical tillage within that field versus maybe herbicide, that type of thing?
We're mostly herbicide. We do not do any we don't do any mechanical cultivation after we plant.
Okay. All right, good to know.
And
All right.
the traditional, we still deep turn peanut dirt. Probably at least, I'm going to say 80% of the peanuts in this area are still deep turned, the land.
What do you mean
and
by
that's
deep
to
turn?
buried,
Like we're talking...
buried residue.
So you're burying it with cultivators or like a chisel or a
moldboard
plow or something like that?
You're
using a moldboard plow. Wow.
Yes.
That's going to be tough to do now that John Deere doesn't even make them anymore. I hope nobody got rid of their plows anytime soon.
No,
Okay.
they still make them. It's now we use down here traditionally what is a switch plow, which is a two-way plow. You go to the end of the field and then you switch it and it turns around and goes back the other way.
Oh,
it's not your conventional moldboard.
Nope, that's pretty fancy. All right, it is 1:30 in the afternoon. We are visiting with Mark Hanna. He is a peanut grower in Georgia. We will be right back to continue asking our questions. Dean, now the expert in sugar beet harvest, wants to know how we harvest those peanuts. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Jay Thomas here. You know, when it comes to clothes, I'm into comfort and a good deal. Thankfully, there's a locally owned menswear store right here in Fargo that has everything I'm looking for and more. Halberstad's West Acres, pretty amazing deals, and it's stuff I'd actually wear. I'm talking performance fabrics, suits with stretch and comfort built in, and shoes that my feet will love and myself as well. And it's all on sale all year. See for yourself. The team at Halberstad's West Acres, they're ready to help you score some awesome deals. Find them in the JCPenney's wing.
Neighbors in the Red River Valley, don't climb on the roof to hang Christmas lights this year. Call Holson Home Automation and Solar today for a free quote on gemstone permanent architectural lighting. With gemstone lights, you can easily change the color and pattern to go with the season, or set your lights to a warm white and enhance the exterior of your home. Don't wait for the snow to fall. Plan your lights this holiday season. Call the team at Holson Home Automation and Solar for a free quote, 218-78-SOLAR, or visit holsonhome.com.
Hello from the WDAY News Center. I'm Ty Schoenert with your news update. A Mercer County Sheriff's deputy dying in a vehicle pursuit involving the son of North Dakota Senator Kevin Kramer. The pursuit beginning last night in Hazen when deputies found Ian Kramer in an SUV that was reported stolen by the Kramer family, and he took off when authorities approached him. At some points during the car chase, Kramer veered and crashed head-on into an unoccupied Mercer County Sheriff's Office patrol vehicle, which struck a deputy standing nearby, killing him. Ian currently in custody at the Mercer County Jail. Senator Kramer's office put out a statement addressing what happened, mentioning Ian Kramer's mental health issues and asking for prayers. A family displaced following a house fire in Grand Forks. Fire crews called to the scene along Walnut Street early Wednesday night, finding smoke pouring from the home's second floor when they arrived. Firefighters able to quickly put out the blaze, the family able to escape without injury, but they are now without a home. Fire officials say a candle is to blame for the fire. The Red Cross currently helping the family with their needs. And Minnesota does not plan to tax state rebate checks, but the IRS will. The federal government says the checks are taxable income. The state plans to send a form to all rebate recipients when filing their federal income tax return next year. I'm Ty Schoenert with WDAYRadioNow.com. First with the news when you need to know.
Great things, well, they come in threes. The Three Stooges, red, white, and blue. 3 French Hens, the 3 Bears, and now Bottle Barn Liquors. 3 convenient locations. So no matter what side of town you're on, shop Bottle Barn Liquors for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits. Bottle Barn Liquors, South University Drive, West Fargo, and Bottle Barn off Broadway, 2nd Avenue North. 3 Feet in the Yard, 3 Ring Circus, 3-wheeler, 3 convenient locations. Bottle Barn Liquors.
With Jiffy Lube Multicare, it's our job to make car care make sense. With personalized service reviews that swap the car talk for straight talk, so you know what your car is telling you and what to do about it. Where highly trained service technicians have your back, helping you take care of the small stuff before it becomes big stuff. Plus a full range of services from Pennzoil oil changes to tires, brakes, batteries, and more. We've got what your car needs, so you're ready for whatever's next. Putting you in the driver's seat of car care, that's a job for Jiffy.
Jiffy Lube, 1780 South Columbia Road, Grand Forks. Bonjour! Let Reed Event Center at Reese and Riley's Olive Oil and Bistro Bar in Moorhead host your next party, reunion, or corporate gathering, featuring an exquisite Mediterranean culinary experience with local ingredients and fresh handmade pasta, including gluten-free options. Casual or formal, Reed Event Center offers a unique and sophisticated experience. For bookings, call Reed Event Center at 218-303-1279 or visit reeseandrileys.com. Bon appetit!
Weather and Ag in Focus on WDAY Radio.
And welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. Want to thank you, everybody, for joining us. It's 1:35 in the afternoon. And joining us today, Mark Hanna. He's a peanut farmer down in Georgia. And Mark, I'm sure a lot of people think that peanuts are kind of like walnuts, pecans, whatever. They grow on trees, but they actually don't. They actually grow underground. And you were talking earlier about harvesting. You have to dig these up. They sit around for 4 or 5 days. Explain the rest of harvesting peanuts. How does it work?
Well, you have a threshing machine, basically. We call them peanut pickers. It's a slow process. My friends in the Delta and probably you guys in the Midwest, it'd be way too slow for you. We dig those peanuts about 3.5 miles an hour. We pick them about 1.5 miles an hour.
Ooh.
So you don't cover a lot of land.
NASCAR speeds.
But it threshes them, separates them from the vine, gets the dirt out of them as much as you can, and then we put them in the trailers and send them to the buying point.
So how long does it take on average to harvest your whole peanut crop?
It'll take us about a month.
Yeah, that's a good amount
We dig only what we think we can pick in a day. You don't like to leave them on top of the ground for a long time. At the same time, when they're mature, you do need to dig them. So you try to match your harvesting capacity.
And since you had mentioned that these peanuts take about 145 days, roughly just shy of 5 months, are you able to double crop them with the climate down there being close to the Gulf, or is this still just kind of a one crop per year when it comes to peanuts?
It's a one crop. We're able to double crop some corn. We start corn planting late February, and we actually plant soybeans behind corn. About half of our crop is gathered in July, and we can plant soybeans at that time. And cotton and peanuts are a one-shot deal.
And when it comes, Mark, when it comes to peanuts and cotton, are they pretty drought? I mean, you guys, you've been known to be in drought conditions every once in a while. Are they pretty drought resistant, or not so much?
Not so much. We're extensively irrigated down here, center pivot irrigation.
Okay.
So peanuts, optimum yields, peanut can use close to 2 inches a week of water.
Wow.
So cotton's the same way. Even though cotton's a tropical plant and it likes hot weather, it also likes water for good production.
So you also mentioned earlier, Mark, that peanuts create their own nitrogen. So are they using up all the nitrogen they produce, or do they leave nitrogen behind for the following crop when that gets planted?
They leave nitrogen behind, Bridgette. We generally credit peanuts about 30 pounds. The following crop, we usually credit about 30 pounds of nitrogen.
So if I got this in my mind, I'm thinking the way I would align it in my video game when I play Farming Simulator. What would your crop rotation look like then if you have peanuts that leave nitrogen behind, soybeans that'll leave some nitrogen behind? Is that kind of your rotation, is peanuts, soybeans, corn?
Soybeans don't rotate good with corn, but if we plant the soybeans in the rotation, they would become behind peanuts, and then we would use a corn or a cotton crop to sort of help clean the soil up before we planted the peanuts again.
Do peanuts leave any type of soil residue, or excuse me, plant residue behind? So after you've harvested,
Yes,
and I know you said you leave them on top, what does that look like?
they don't leave anything in the ground really because we dig them, but we leave the peanut hay on top of the ground, and it's good residual fertilizer. It's also an excellent cattle feed, very similar to alfalfa as far as the quality of the hay. But we choose to leave it on the ground to help protect and put nutrients back in.
So, Mark, I believe you've done quite a lot of work with grower associations and so forth down there. And I don't need to know what your yield is, but what do you look at for a yield on peanuts when you're growing in a season? What sounds like an average yield for your neighborhood?
Our group is going to average somewhere around 2.5 tons per acre.
Wow.
Is the group that we are American Peanut Growers is our name. And we have about 90,000 acres in our shelling plant facility group. And our average this year's down a little bit, but it's historically just slightly above 5,000 pounds.
Wow.
You mentioned heavy fungicide use throughout the season. What are the diseases that you're looking at? Is it more of an above ground leaf disease, or is it something that transfers through the plant that affects the underground peanut as well?
It's mostly mold is one of your problems because of it being a ground plant and also the amount of water we put. White mold is one of the main things. You also have some other diseases, but white mold's number one.
Okay. So what do you do? I know you said some of your peanuts get saved for seed. Do the rest of your peanuts go to be sold in the shell? Are they peanut butter? Where's your peanut going?
All over the world. We say we export about 20% of the peanuts that are at our plant. The rest of them are domestic. We even have this year we put in our own ingredient plant that we'll be roasting peanuts and also making peanut butter and peanut paste that will go to manufacturers. Wow. We don't put any.
Oh shoot! Did we lose Mark?
No, he's back. He's back.
He's back.
I'm back.
Okay,
I'm
good. There you are.
Okay, what did you
That's
lose?
okay. We're good. All three of us said, "Whoa, where'd he go?"
Oh.
Okay, so your peanuts are you're seeing export. You're using a lot domestically. When you think about peanuts, Mark, did you guys see a dip in the recent years when folks got concerned about peanut allergies, or have you been very steady in what you're doing?
We actually, during the COVID, and I lost some of yours, but our peanut consumption went up during the COVID years.
Really?
Yes. And I think a lot of the snack type foods, people were staying at home more. Peanuts, I hate to say this, but they benefited from the COVID isolations. Okay.
And all right. What's your favorite thing about peanuts, Mark? Whether it's eating them, planting them, growing them, what do you like best?
I like everything about them. The planting time is special time for us because it's like you're starting a new year. Let's start all over. And of course, watching them grow, and then I have to be careful when we start harvesting because I eat too many of them. If everybody ate it, we'd have to plant more acres. But it's all, our farmers we're always glad to get through harvesting. But then you think about it, says, hey, that's the best time I'd like to harvest all year. But it's just, farming is a great life if you can make a living at it.
So I know that you also raise cotton, and I wanted to ask just a couple of questions about cotton. And does all your cotton stay domestic? Do you know where it goes after you've processed it and hauled into the gin?
Well, I'm a member of a marketing cooperative on cotton, and unfortunately, the United States only uses, I think, about 15% of the cotton we produce, maybe 20. The rest of it is exported. NAFTA was sort of the downside of the U.S. Textile industry. So
Looking,
we go to the gin. We have farmer-owned gins. We harvest the cotton. It goes to the gin. It's warehoused and then shipped all over the world.
looking at the years that you've raised peanuts as well as cotton, what's changed? What are some, 2 or 3 big highlights of things that have changed in the years that you've been producing?
In peanuts, it's just the equipment, the size of the equipment, and the amount of labor it takes now versus 30 years ago. We now have all of our harvesting equipment 6-row. When we started, it was 2-row equipment. As far as the harvesting, the planting was 6-row then, but now we take 3 men on harvesters, 1 man running a dump cart, and we do what 15 people did 30 years ago. As far as we don't have any, just starting to get some GMO activity in peanuts, but as far as cotton goes, GMO is a big thing. Roundup Ready, BT, those are game changers, for us in cotton production.
These are okay. Just one comment here from one of our listeners, and he said this is one of his favorite crops, and also one of his favorite areas in the South where you are at, and southwestern Georgia. There, Mark. He said he used to live in Mitchell County for a while, Camilla, Georgia. So you have a fan listening over in Mississippi.
Yeah.
Oh, so folks know exactly who you are. I like that. And so, Mark, if you've mentioned that you were a member of some organizations, et cetera, and if people are curious about those organizations, any contact information or any websites that you could think of that folks could go to learn more information?
Well, sure. Our peanut shelling group is APGG, which is American Peanut Growers Group. The story behind that, we started in 2002. That was right after 9/11. And there was this new thing that was coming out called the internet, and this new thing called Google. So they get something that starts with an A, and that's when somebody Googles it, a peanut, American peanut will be the first thing that comes up, and that's what we did. But apgg.com on that. As far as our cotton, I'm a member of Staple Cotton out of Greenwood, Mississippi. That's the largest marketing cooperative for cotton.
That is awesome. Mark, thank you for joining us today, sharing everything that you know. We greatly appreciate it, and
thanks,
just taking
Mark.
the time out of your day to visit. So
I share everything I know. Y'all have a great time.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah, you as well.
thank you, Mark.
All
right, folks, don't go anywhere.
Goodbye.
We will be right back with a check on the weather and the rest of our ag headlines. Be right back.
Hello, Fargo. This is John Adams, your host of Talk of the Town. My show is designed to highlight everything great about the city, the valley, and the country in which we live. I've had the great fortune of meeting, working, and living with wonderful people in the Fargo-Moorhead area, and I want to bring their stories to you. Human interest stories, sports, timely topics that affect all of us in the Red River Valley. Talk of the Town with John Adams. Tune in for positivity and fun.
Wouldn't it be nice if shopping for clothes could be simple? Why waste time running around everywhere when you can find everything you need in one store? Halberstadt's West Acres Mall has 14,000 square feet of menswear, making your shopping experience stress-free. Searching for wedding attire as a guest or the groom? Want to stand out in style on the course? Looking for clothing and shoes you'll actually wear? Halberstadt's in the West Acres Mall has it all. Halberstadt's, located in the J.C. Penney's wing.
West Funeral Home in your difficult time.
For over 100 years, families of the Red River Valley have turned to West Funeral Home. Our mission is to care for grieving families with the utmost of compassion and loved ones with dignity and grace. To learn more about us, visit our website at westfuneralhome.com. Discover the difference.
West Funeral Home and Life Tribute Center. Little things make the difference.
The team at Fix-It Ford Auto Care is unique, trustworthy, and driven to serve. Help others while you get your auto fixed at Fix-It Ford Auto Care in Moorhead. Find out more online at fixitfordautocare.com.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday at 6 a.m. Planning for your financial future can be stressful. It involves investments, taxes, insurance, and estate planning. At Creative Planning, we have an entire team working for you, including wealth managers, CPAs, and attorneys, all in one place, all working together. Let Creative Planning show you a richer way to wealth. Visit creativeplanning.com. That's creativeplanning.com.
This is Mark Wagner at ND Estate Services. I want to thank all the listeners out there and just really wishing you a very Merry Christmas. God bless you. Have a Happy New Year. Encouraging you to give your family the gift of avoiding probate at death, eliminating legal guardianship when you're incapacitated, saving taxes, protecting their inheritance. Find out more at ndestateservices.com, 701-318-0908.
Imagine it's the last ride, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are taking you for a ride. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about treating it with Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
This is Weather and Ag in Focus with Bridgette Readel, Justin Storm, and Dean Wysocki.
Welcome back to Weather and Ag in Focus. It's 1:52. And temperatures look like they're in the low 60s now outside of Fargo, and mid to upper 50s around Fargo.
Oaks at 62?
Oh,
man.
Beautiful out there.
Gorgeous.
I think we're the warmest spot in the entire state right now.
Pretty close.
Oaks is at 62.
Man.
61 Oaks, Brampton 62, about 61 here in Fargo, and it's December 7th.
Unreal.
Do we have
This
any
is a
more?
change. Our weather is always notable this time of the year, but not for being in the 60s,
hey.
not above.
Right.
I don't know about you guys, but global warming, yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, this is don't get used to it though. There is snow back in the forecast. This is short-lived.
Say it ain't snow.
Yeah, we've
Say
got
it's a lot of snow.
In fact, winter weather advisories already being issued out towards Devil's Lake Basin, and I would not be surprised to see some advisories issued further east towards the valley here for Friday evening and into Friday night. We've got a beautiful day today. Highs hugging 60 degrees, a few degrees either side of that, with southeast winds, a little breezy, about 10 to 20, and gusting higher than that at times. Only down to about 36 tonight due to the cloud cover that'll be rolling in and southwesterly winds picking up. West-southwest winds will be on the breezy side, 15 to 30 tomorrow. A lot of cloud cover, low 40s, and then the cold air rushes in late in the day. We'll have snow developing, moving in from northwest to southeast. And we'll be switching our winds out of the northwest at 20 to 40 and possibly gusting a little higher than that. So when that snow falls along with the wind, there's going to be some reduced visibility. Saturday morning, when the snow winds down, we'll probably have 1 to 2 inches across the area. Again, not a lot of snow, but when you factor in 40-mile-an-hour winds, there's going to be some travel trouble around here in the area Saturday morning. Probably as early as Friday night in the far northern valley. I know I had a couple emails of people going up to the UND game Friday evening. You know, they said, when's it going to start? And probably around dinner time in the northern valley, by the time that hockey game is over, it'll be snowing and conditions will start to go downhill. So if you're going north Friday night for the UND game, be prepared for that.
If you don't have your winter survival kit in your vehicles yet, now is your time to go get that ready and toss her in there just in case.
No
Good
doubt.
idea.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So we got a couple of ag topics. All right, the first thing I want to know.
Well,
the dog.
Wait.
Yeah, wait.
I have a listener comment. So Jess was listening to our discussion with Mark Hanna, and she wanted to know, and again, just in case anybody wants to call or email us, don't forget you can reach us at 701-293-9000. That's the Red Wing Shoe phone line. And then our emails, agorweather@flagfamily.com. She was curious about the peanuts, that if they produce nitrogen and are a good cattle feed similar to alfalfa, could this be used here for a rancher to improve soil quality? And I think that's a possibility. My response back to Jess was it's possible, but they do have a significantly longer growing degree days than we have here. And so our season may be too short to get that to maturity, especially if you wanted to get to the peanut. If you were just looking for the above ground plant, it depends what your goal is for that. And then also they have very sandy soils down there, whereas we have a lot more clay content, and that also could affect the production of trying to raise something like a peanut. But always worth finding out. We've had some Facebook comments that mentioned peanuts being raised as far north as Wisconsin. So it does happen.
Right.
Okay, back to your dog, Dean.
Yeah. So I was always told, don't feed chocolate to dogs. So the dog ate my chocolate.
Don't.
What are you supposed to do?
Well, this is going to be a situation where how much chocolate and what type of chocolate did the dog get into? There is a combination of the theobromine and caffeine that together is called the methylxanthine. That's what affects the dog. And it depends how much they get. Like white chocolate or milk chocolate have less of a problem than if it's a dark chocolate or a cocoa powder. And essentially, you're going to need to call the vet. That dog needs to throw up because they need to get that out of their system as fast as possible. If it is a ratio of a lot of dark chocolate and a small dog, because you're looking at milligrams of chocolate to kilograms per, what the weight of the animal is, that dog can start to see seizures, coma, heart arrhythmia, tremors, and that could be fatal. So with all of the holiday Christmas treats that are coming out right now, I mean, I don't know about the rest of you, but I am eating my weight's worth of cookies on a regular basis. Dogs can easily get into the treats, right? All those great chocolate covered peanuts or pretzels. So keep those away from the pets. The dogs don't need the chocolate because it is toxic to them.
Right.
We had a caller a few moments ago before we got to that topic. It was Greg. I hope that I got this right for you, Greg. He was wondering a little bit on the history of the weather, on what it was like today on Pearl Harbor, because today is the anniversary of Pearl Harbor,
yes.
December 7th, 1941. And the weather here in Fargo, it was a high of 36 today in 1941. There were trace amounts of snow as well, so a little bit of another above average day here in 1941. So I hope that answers your question, Greg. Thanks for calling in. If you want a little more information, shoot us an email, all right?
In regards to that about Pearl Harbor, I saw a message this morning on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, and just never forget Pearl Harbor on December 7th. And this is from a gentleman. He is a agronomist out in Washington State, but also is a Navy vet. And he said, I manned the rails as we pulled into Pearl Harbor for a port visit. That is still the most chilling feeling I have ever felt. God bless the men and women that have served our country. If only our country took care of us as you did. And I'm not saying this is a political statement, but just as a reminder, many have done a lot for this country. We want the country to give back to them as well. So thank you for celebrating this special day. Much appreciated.
And that's going to wrap it up for Weather and Ag in Focus today, everyone. Thanks for joining in. Chat box over there on YouTube blowing up today. Thanks to you for those watching over there. We're back tomorrow, 1 to 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The Jay Thomas Show is coming up next.